Hi, this is Julia. Thanks for joining me today for this Yin Yoga for hips. So if you're ready to get started, you may want to grab a blanket, nice thick folded blanket, perhaps your yoga blocks if you have them, or thick books. Just optional props there for this Yin Yoga flow today. We're going to get started in a butterfly pose. So bringing the soles of the feet together. Feel free also, if you like, to sit up on a block, on a cushion, or on your blanket. I'm going to sit on my folded blanket here, bringing my feet, the soles of my feet together. You don't have to have your heels far in towards your body. You can kind of let them come further out to find your range of motion there. And feel free also to support your legs, your knees here with yoga blocks or books if you have them, just to give yourself a little more support. Maybe gently rest your hands on the legs here, or you can even bring your hands over your heart. Take just a moment to begin taking some nice deep breaths. We'll start here in this butterfly pose for about 3 minutes. Feel free at any point, if you would like, also to gently fold over your legs if you like, knowing that is also a wonderful option, and you have lots of options to choose from. Knowing that this is your practice, I invite you to listen to your body, take what you need today, and release anything that does not serve you. Once you are ready, maybe take a nice deep breath in. If you're folded over the legs, on your exhale, gently lift back up to center. Maybe take a moment to remove blocks, if you have them underneath the legs, go ahead and gently bring your feet out in front of you, wide apart. We're going to take some windshield wipers here with the legs, just to get a little bit of rotation there in the hips. And as you're ready, maybe continuing to sit on your block or on your folded blanket, extend your legs into a straddle, gently allowing the feet to relax. Maybe just taking a moment, maybe staying here for just a moment. And then as you're ready, maybe turning towards the right foot and gently folding over that right leg. You don't have to fold very far, just a simple fold here. Maybe resting your hands on the leg or even on the floor next to your leg. We're going to be here about 2 minutes. Just taking that nice deep breath, following your body's signals, and simply notice sensation, finding your comfortable edge of sensation. Maybe take a moment here to begin to lift the left arm, open up into a side bend. Maybe staying here for about a minute. Knowing at any point if that is uncomfortable, you can come back down to your folded position. And taking a nice deep breath in, bringing your upper body through center. Take just a moment to settle here, and then begin to fold over the left leg here. Just a nice gentle fold. Perhaps simply noticing if there's any difference between the sensations in the right and the left side. Acknowledging that our bodies are asymmetrical. It's perfectly fine. Simply notice. Maybe bring your awareness back to your breath if you find that your mind begins to wander. Taking a nice deep breath in, maybe pressing that left hand into the floor next to your leg. On your exhale, maybe open up, bring the right arm up overhead for that side bend for just a minute. And as you're ready, maybe coming up through center, taking just a moment here and maybe walking your hands forward, coming into another fold just for 2 more minutes here. Maybe resting on the forearms here, folding forward, or even grabbing your blocks or your books, stacking them up here. Maybe bringing one block on the smallest height and the other block on top taller, and just kind of resting your forehead there. If it becomes intense on your legs, feel free to bring your feet to the floor, kind of bend in the knees. As you're ready, maybe gently bringing your upper body back up to center, moving any props that you have with you. Again, bringing those feet out in front of you, gently windshield wiper the legs. Simply notice the sensations in the body. Maybe taking a moment to make our way to a child's pose for a short rebound. Feel free to make yourself as comfortable as possible. Coming to your hands and knees, bring your big toes together to touch. Maybe shifting the hips back towards the heels. Bringing the arms forward, bringing the head down towards the mat. Feel free to take your head to a block here. Feel free to place a blanket behind the knees. As you're ready, gently pressing into your hands, bringing yourself up to hands and knees. Remove any props you have, set them aside. Maybe take a couple of rounds of a cat and cow. Knees stacked underneath the hips, wrists stacked underneath the shoulders. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Exhale, rounding the back, drawing the belly button towards the spine. Just taking a couple of these motions. We're next going to work into our hips with dragon, or a variation of a lunge. So in Yin Yoga, this pose is called dragon pose. We're going to bring the right leg back, maybe straighten that right leg. Bring the right foot up next to your hands, maybe leaning in towards the hips here. Maybe slide that left leg back a little bit so you have that left foot on top of the mat here. Option here to hold on to a block to create a little more space, or to even come down onto your forearms or come down onto the block on your forearms. You have multiple options here for the next couple of minutes. Simply breathe, noticing your breath. If you find at any point that you become uncomfortable or it feels painful, please feel free to come out of the pose and take any other pose that feels right to you. About one more minute in our dragon pose. So if you like here, maybe gently coming up on the edge of your foot here, kind of opening the hip, pointing the knee, the right knee closer to the right side of the room. Just gently coming up onto that edge of the foot, outer edge of the foot. And as you're ready, maybe gently coming back on to the ball of that foot here. Maybe bring that right knee back to meet the left into tabletop. Maybe, if you like, taking a downward facing dog here, pressing the heels of your hands into the mat. Inhale and exhale, lift the hips up and back. Taking just a moment here, maybe pedaling your feet if you like. And if this does not feel good to you today, feel free to stay in that tabletop position. Just take a little bit of dynamic movement. And then we're going to go ahead and lift our right leg, or our left leg, and bring that left foot to the outside of our hands, gently sliding that right leg back. You can bring your knee down to the mat on that right leg. Again, take whatever variation of dragon is comfortable to you here. You can stay up on the hands here. You can also come down to the forearms or come to the block, holding on the block to create a little more height, or coming down onto the block, onto the forearms. Just breathing into this pose. Maybe for this last minute here in the pose, gently come up onto the outer edge of that left foot. Maybe just gently letting that left knee fall over a little bit towards the side. Breathing here, knowing you are free to come back at any time if you need to. And as you're ready, maybe coming back onto the ball of that foot. Maybe move your blocks out of the way if you're using them. Bring that left knee back to meet the right. Perhaps pressing into another downward facing dog if you like, tucking your toes, taking a nice deep breath in. Shifting the hips up and back just for a moment here. And then as you're ready, coming back down to the knees, maybe bringing the big toes together to touch, to take a child's pose here to rebound for a moment. Maybe shifting the hips back, bringing the forehead down to the mat or to a block. As you're ready, pressing into your hands, maybe walking those hands in towards your knees, coming up through a kneeling position, sitting down, and making your way onto your back. We're going to take a one knee twist here. So bringing both legs out long here, resting on the mat, tucking those shoulder blades underneath you. Take just a nice deep breath in, beginning to lift that right knee up towards the chest. As you exhale, pull that right knee in. Maybe make circles through the hip for just a second. And then as you're ready, cross that right leg over the left. Right knee is bent. Left leg is straight. Maybe bringing your hands out to the side in a cactus or arms straight. You may also take one of your blocks and rest your right knee on that block in this twist for a little more support. You keep your gaze at neutral or look out over your opposite shoulder. We'll be here for about 2 minutes and we'll switch sides. nice deep breath in. Maybe gently bring yourself back to center, hugging that right knee in towards the chest. Maybe bring the left knee up to meet the right. Rock back and forth just a little bit. And as you're ready, extend that right leg, keeping that left leg bent. And gently guide the left knee over. Maybe taking your block or your sturdy book here and resting your left knee there to make it a little more relaxing. Then maybe bringing your arms to a cactus or to a T. Again, you can gaze out over your right shoulder or keep your gaze at neutral. Resting here for another 2 minutes. Maybe just notice your breath. Take a nice deep breath in. Maybe bring that left knee back up to center. Maybe bring that right knee up to meet the left and just gently rock back and forth. We're going to prepare to come into Shavasana for these last few minutes. Go ahead and make yourself as comfortable as possible, gathering any props you need. Maybe taking a full body stretch, arms up overhead. Take a nice deep breath in, sigh it out and let it go. Feel free to take any form of Shavasana that is comfortable to you today. You can have your legs out long, or you can bring your feet mat's width distance apart and let the knees fall in together. Or take any other resting pose that serves you today. We'll rest here for the next few minutes, following the gentle rhythm of your breath, knowing that I will close you out when time is up. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. If you are ready, you may begin to bring awareness back to your body. Maybe wiggling the fingers and toes, fluttering open the eyelids if they were closed. Maybe taking just a moment to roll over to the right or the left side in the fetal position. Taking your time to gently press yourself up to seated as we close out practice. Coming to a comfortable seat. Maybe bring your hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra or prayer pose. Maybe taking a nice deep breath in, sigh it out. Acknowledging yourself for coming to your mat today. Taking time for yourself. Sending yourself love, compassion, and gratitude. The light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in you. Thank you for practicing with me.